All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to the live stream today. Let me know if everything's working fine, sound quality, the everything you're watching, and also I got music in the background. Hopefully, you're not hearing the music. I'm gonna shut it off, and if you heard any music, let me know. If you don't hear any music, let me know. Today, we are going to take a look at Bitcoin, and I'm especially interested in a setup on Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we're going to be focusing on Bitcoin and Ethereum in today's live stream. And I'm also going to take a quick look at the Forex market at the end of the live stream. So I'm thinking this is going to be somewhere between 30 and 40 minutes. If we have time at the end, I would gladly take a look at all your charting requests. So keep them ready for later in the webinar or the live stream. All right, I hope you guys are doing good. I had like just a shitty night's sleep. Like last 2 days, I've just been sleeping very bad, and it's really been affecting my trading. You guys know that I'm heavily focused on the psychology aspect of trading, right? So it's for me, it's very important that you are 100% focused and disciplined when trading. And really, when I get lack of sleep, I really it just affects my whole mental state of mind, I guess. And it really shows in the it really shows in my trading results, right? I went from about this month, like in the beginning of the month, I had like a 100% win rate in the Forex market, and I went down to like 75%, and today I'm down to 50%, where I should be, but still, like I made a couple of impulsive bad decisions, and without those, the impulsive bad decisions, I would be at a very good profitability, right? Anyway, so if you're watching on YouTube, which you should probably be doing because I'm not on Twitter, so I hit that like button and press that subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And we just hit 10K subscribers on the Burbnest channel, which is pretty amazing because we were at only a couple of thousand about a month or two ago. So that's pretty nice. I really do appreciate all of you guys coming in here and liking the content, the free content that we are offering you guys. By the way, if you do like this stuff, remember that we are doing these live streams on a daily basis inside the Burbnest. So check out theburbnest.com/free trial. You can see the that text in the bottom right here. I can't put the arrow down here, obviously, because it's on the chart. Anyway, let's look at Bitcoin and Ethereum here. So I got a clean chart here on Bitcoin, and first thing I want to talk about here is the first thing I want to talk about here is the fact that the yellow dotted line right here, that's the daily 20 EMA, right? So that's the daily 20 EMA. Now let's go back and look at this, the yellow dotted line right here. We lost the daily 20 EMA right here at the same time as losing the daily 50 EMA. So we had the 20 EMA crossed below the 50 EMA here. We lost them both, and that kind of propelled us down to the local bottom that we are seeing right now. So the fact that we actually look at the daily, the fact that we have actually now closed a daily open and close above actually multiple daily open and closes above the daily 20 EMA is rather bullish, right? So that's obviously rather bullish. I'm gonna take off the headphones because I'm not even listening to anything, so I don't even know why I'm having them on. So we now have a nice rounded retest of the daily 20 EMA, right? And it's the first time that we reclaim the daily 20 EMA after failing to hold it as support, basically. And if you look at the 4-hour, this is a very nice rounded retest of a breakout level, right? If you add a level right here, if we can, obviously the breakout level would be somewhere here. So there's still the possibility that we are going to hit this level, right? And I'm going to show you on a different chart shortly where I have the, what range I'm watching on Bitcoin, and we're going to show you what levels I'm watching. So right here we have the breakout level. But what happened today was, or yesterday, this night, whatever, we hit that level right there. So one could argue that this is the retest of the breakout level. This is the retest of the highs prior to the breakout, but this is still a very clean, untested level, and it's confluent with the monthly open down here. I like the fact that we had a touch of this level, confluent with the daily 20 EMA. We also had a nice 4-hour bullish engulfing here on the bounce, as well as a 4-hour stochastics RSI bull cross. This is a pretty good, in my opinion, entry trigger, right? For a nice scalp trade. Now, what I want to see is I want to add the fib levels of this move, and I want to see some confluence here, right? Did we hit any important fib level? And in my opinion, the most important fib levels are the 50% and the 0.618. And looking at lower areas in the fib, the reload zone is obviously one of the most important parts as well. But when looking for confluence, if you find nice confluence with moving averages, horizontal levels with the 618 or the 50, you could, look at that as some added confluence, because I do believe that those are the two most important fib levels if you're not using the reload zone, right? So let's extend this to the right, and what do we see here? Well, we see price coming down, testing the last highs prior to breakout, and very close to the 50 EMA right here of this move. Now, one could argue that this is the 50% level getting front run, and it's not always going to hit the level perfectly. The fact that we have the daily 20 EMA in a very close, very, very close to the 50% fib is obviously, adding confluence to the general area around this level, right? So that's some good confluence. So if I were to take this trade, I would have entered on the 4-hour bullish engulfing right there with stops right below the 50, and my take profit one would most likely be at these heights right here, and that's also where I would move my stops to entry. My next take profit would be at the -236, and the third one at the -618, right? And this trade, this would be a anticipated breakout trade, right? And the average R on this trade would be somewhere around 5, so that's actually very, very good. But as you can see here on this chart right here, I'm also going to show you a scalp setup that I'm watching based on this, because the entry on this one, I believe, might be gone, maybe not. Gonna look into that shortly. Let's look at this chart right here. So this is the range that I'm watching, right? This is and we also almost touched the 4-hour 50 EMA right here. So some very, very good, nice confluence here, right? So the range right here, that's the range highs. And if you look at this right here, the TP1 would actually be the range highs, right? And this is major, major resistance. So you might even take maybe 50% profit at this TP1 instead of 25, because it's such a major resistance area. You're most likely getting rejected at that area. I do, however, like Bitcoin here in case we hit that for the second time. It might be the breakout, right? Because we now have a major, major higher low in a sequence of higher lows and higher highs. I would now say that this trend is now bullish. We now have a pretty nice bullish break in market structure, right? It's this general trend right here. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect. Well, maybe almost perfect, actually. So that's the uptrend call it an uptrend, your ascending channel, whatever. I've just added these trend lines on to show that it's actually right now an uptrend, right? While we before this actually had a downtrend, right? We had a downtrend with lower highs and lower lows. And this right here was the first sign of a major break in market structure. We have a higher high, a higher low, a new higher high, and a new higher low. So we're actually in an uptrend, but it's important to remember that we are still ranging. We're still inside the range. By the way, guys, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It's going to help me and the Bubnest immensely. Just a small gesture from you will help the community a lot, right? And we will be able to provide more live streams like this one, more free content and more videos, and especially more content for the exclusive members of the Nest Club, because we are really trying to push YouTube as much as possible. So we need your help, guys. We really need your help. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and press the little bell notification button. I think we have something in the bottom right corner. So yeah, we're in an uptrend, but we're still in a range. It's important to remember that when you're in a range, you're most likely going to keep on ranging unless you break out of the range, break down or break out. So we need to pay extra attention to the range highs. Now look at the confluence here between the 4-hour 20 EMA and the weekly open. That's your spot on. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let me go back to this chart right now. Keep this in mind, guys. Keep this in mind right here. And let's go back to this level right here, or this short right here. That's the weekly open. It's the same exchange. No, it's not the same exchange. It's Bitstamp, but it should be pretty close. Let's check the daily, the 20 EMA and the 4-hour. Yes, perfect. So that's the 20 EMA and the 4-hour. Now let's use this other indicator right here, and we're going to change this from the daily to the 4-hour. So we're going to get the 4-hour 20 EMA on the lower time frame. So now we're going to switch to the 15-minute, right? Look at that. That's the 15-minute. And we have the weekly open confluent with the 4-hour 20 EMA. So if you want to take a scalp trade right here, I don't care about the death cross. It makes no, like, it doesn't really matter. It's a, you know, EMAs and moving averages are lagging indicators. Like, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter if you have that death cross. No, I don't care about that. Like, I really don't use that in my trading at all. I'm just looking at the, like, I don't really care about the crosses between the EMAs. I use, like, the basis of my system is horizontal support and resistances. If we break and retest the level, I don't care what the moving averages does. I'm just going to look at the moving averages as confluence to support or resistance. The crosses is nothing I use in my trading. So yeah, that beautiful trade, beautiful trade. Did I enter? No, of course not, because I'm a retard, so I didn't have that one apparently. But still, there's going to be more opportunities. Like, so the opportunity we're going to look at, we've just looked at this one right here, and the confluence in this area, very good, very nice. I like it. We now had this this idea based on this one, right? So based on the daily and the 4-hour. We now have a possible scalp entry, right? A possible scalp entry where we're going to base that scalp entry on this setup right here. Okay. Okay. So look at that. The weekly open right here. Isn't that beautiful? Weekly open in almost perfect confluence with the 4-hour 20 EMA. And it's untested level. It's an untested level. Let's go to the 5-minute. Let's go to the 5-minute. If we could get a trend that kind of goes like this, that would be a golden opportunity for a nice scalp entry, right? Of course, this could just run, but please, guys, do not FOMO. It's that there's no, you can't just get in on this right now. Of course you can, but I want to get the best possible entry right here, because we are so close to range highs, right? We're so close to range highs. So you can ask yourself, is the risk to reward good at these levels? Because the 41K or even the 40.5 is strong resistance. And what happens at resistance? Well, most likely what's going to happen is Bitcoin will hit that level and then start to reverse. Right? So you need to take profit there, and the risk to reward needs to be acceptable. We also have a minor resistance area right above, so we have to take into consideration that level as well. If we can see a proper rejection at that level, we need to take some more profits at that level earlier. I'm going to show you what level that is. That's this level right here, right? So that's going to be this level right here. So if taking a scalp entry here on Bitcoin, you need to take into consideration that this is the previous low of the low time frame range. So you have a low time frame range here. You have range high area, range EQ, range low. And usually what happens when you break range low, you come up and retest that level, it's going to act as resistance, obviously, because this is now a low time frame high horizontal support and resistance area. So you need to be mindful of that, right? So when taking a scalp entry, how would that trade look? It will look something like this. You want to enter down here. Stops. I mean, you could have your stops all the way down here because it would be like it would be a 1.5 up to TP1, but I would like to have my stops right here, right? So I would like to have my stops right here, and I would enter on a confirmed bounce. Let's check the EMAs on the 15-minute. EMAs on the 15-minute. We have I'm only really interested in the 20 and the 50 here. So let's remove the 100 and the 200. You see here on the 15-minute, you have the 20 EMA moving very nicely closer to the weekly open right here. On the 5-minute, we already had... yeah, no, the 15-minute definitely looks better. So I would trade this based on the 15-minute, and the level on the 15-minute is this level right here. That's the level I'm going to be looking at for a possible entry. And what I'm doing is I'm waiting for a retrace down to this level. And I'm most likely going to use, see the hourly, where's the hourly? That's the last swing low in the 1 hour prior to the breakout, right? So that's the last swing low prior to the breakout. I'm going to keep my stop loss below that one. And that's a pretty good, and you also have these lows right here. So I'm going to keep it even lower. And it would be a 1.5 R up to the next minor resistance. So now based on this level right here, I will actually change this. So the first take profit is going to be right here at 1.3. And the second take profit, will be here. And then the third one, and that's actually going to be 50. Take 50% here. And then 25% I'll take at that high. So this is going to be a safe setup. 50. So the risk to reward, the average risk to reward on this trade would be around 2.5 or 3, close to that. So 41,034. I am actually not going to post this as an official call. I might post it as a trade setup, but the fact that this is a quite risky scalp, I'm not going to be able to post it as an official call, because the idea might be invalidated just seconds after entering, right? What I'm doing here with the TPs is I'm trying to, I always want my TPs to be at, like, if it's a long, right? Instead of putting the TP at 100, a even number, you want to put it slightly below the even numbers. Instead of 100, you want to have like 97 or 94. I like 94 because a lot of people, they want to front run 100, so they keep it at 95. So I want to front run the 95 and put it at 94. So if you look at these numbers on a TP, this is 697 instead of, or above 700. Right, so 697, never even numbers, right? And this is 537. And this up here is 34 instead of 40 or 50, right? And the stop loss, same thing goes with the stop loss. So this is now 38,520. Obviously, you don't want the stop loss right at 20, so I'm putting that at 17. Not going to change the stop loss much, but sometimes you're going to see that a lot of the orders are at the even numbers, right? So that would be the scalp setup for Bitcoin, right? So I'm putting an alert right here because I want to get alerted when that level hits. And when above here, because breaking above that level will most likely invalidate the setup. We could still see something like this, right? If we use the fib tool here and we add the reload zone from that low to this level above, you will now see that if price actually pumps up to this level like this, the retest will actually be right on the long RLC confluent with weekly open, and that's perfect, absolutely perfect. So we're just going to wait and be patient and just wait and observe and wait for the alerts to go off. Maybe we'll get some alerts popping off right now. And if that happens, we get a confirm bounce on like the 15 minute 20 EMA. I'm going to enter this setup. And I'm most likely also, I might enter something similar on Ethereum, because let me show you an idea I've been working on Ethereum for quite some time. And that's this one, right? So you see how price came down, hit that support area right here, broke down, but it reversed nicely inside the long RLC right here. You had a 4-hour bullish engulfing with a 4-hour stochastic bull cross, right? Exactly like we had on the 4-hour on this chart of Bitcoin. You had a 4-hour bullish engulfing right here, bounced up the daily 20 EMA, and a 4-hour stochastic bull cross, right? Yeah, I mean, like, sure, you might have missed a trade, but you're gonna have hundreds, if not thousands, of new opportunities in the crypto market and the forex market and all markets, right? It's just a matter of letting yourself, like, you're just making yourself available. Like, be at your desk, add alerts, and whenever price action moves in your favor, you're gonna be there and you're gonna take a trade if it aligns with your setup. FOMOing in and buying at the wrong levels will just make your trade produce a less, it's just going to be a smaller average R. And basically what that means is the average profit on the trade, if all TPs gets hit, it's going to be smaller. So, but your winners, if you're consistent with your risk, your winners is always going to be the same size. So if you're risking 1% of all setups, well, every time you get stopped out, you're gonna lose 1% of your capital. And if your winners aren't, significantly bigger than 1%, obviously you're never going to be profitable. So it's important to always take into consideration the average risk to reward on the setup, and you can't just look at the risk to reward on the setup looking at entry to the last take profit. You have to calculate the average exit point, and for me that needs to be above 2, because I have somewhere around 50 to 60% win rates, so my average R needs to be above 2 for me to be nicely profitable, and I try to aim for 3. So this setup right here on Ethereum would be an average R of 2.5, because I take 25% here, 25% here, and 50 here, which means that this is where I exit 50 and this is where I exit 50. So naturally, my average R would be in the middle of those two, which would be around 2.5. So the idea here on Ethereum is we have now bounced nicely inside the long RLC right here, and looking at the lower time frames, we have a pretty clear level right here, which kind of aligns with current price action on Bitcoin. So what I'd like to do is, I would actually just want to see a move like this, right? Just a break and retest of this level, right? That's what I would like to see on Ethereum. And a safe TP at around 1 hour. So hitting 1 hour means I would get out of the trade. So I expect the weekly open to act as resistance. And if we do get rejected at the weekly open, come down and test the entry area, I would most likely go long based on this. So I'm going to put an alert right here to alert us whenever we get a breakout, and 1 above or below to alert us if the trade idea is invalidated. So let's go back to Bitcoin here. Slowly but surely making its way down. So we're just going to observe this and wait for something to happen. Same thing on Ethereum, letting the alerts do the work here. Now let's look at a very frustrating trade. A very frustrating trade. It's not very frustrating for me because I actually am still in the trade because I'm using 3 commas and I'm using a time stop loss. But this dot trade right here is officially invalidated because the stop loss, got hit. Kind of sucks waking up to this shit, but it happens. It happens. I'm still gonna update this as if it's active. I'm gonna obviously note that it's the stop loss is hit. So officially looking at our stats, this should be viewed as a loser, right? But I'm still in the trade because of this time stop loss. I'm gonna update this as if I were in the trade. Now, if Bitcoin is going to continue to move higher, DOT is most likely going to do the same. Now, if you're worried about this position, if you're worried about Bitcoin getting rejected at range highs, you could exit right here in the buy zone at your break-even level and get out if you're worried about Bitcoin getting rejected. And then if Bitcoin actually breaks out or starts moving higher, you could go long on the break and retest and just repeat this setup, but with some extra confirmation. Let's take a look at Atom as well. I know JTrader just posted a couple of hours ago a trade setup on Atom. Let's look at that one. Let's look at the official call for Atom, and let's look at that one. So this was actually at 12 a.m. Was it p.m.? I don't know. Midnight. Yeah, so this is based on the 4 hour. Let's look at the 4 hour. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Nice breakout right here. Should have a TP1, I guess. Yeah, so if you want to enter this again, I think the trade on Atom would be this, right? If you're not in Atom and you're looking to enter, this would be the trade, right? You enter on the retest here because that's a very clean breakout and a clean level, right? So you enter on the retest of this breakout level right here. Stops would be below that swing low, about 10% stop loss. TP1 would be around 15.5 or 15.4. Yeah, probably 15.4, stuff like this. And what I would do is just trail this up, right? Just trail it up. This is most likely going to act as resistance, but yeah, I like this. So a possible retrace down to 13.575. For a move higher. TP at 1.4 hours, something like that, and then move stops to entry is what I would do. And I would wait for a confirmed bounce here actually at the level. All right, so what else do we have? Let's go through the green list. So the green list is a list of coins that I'm, when I'm doing the market scan, I'm going through the altcoin market, the USDT market on Binance, and I'm checking and I'm adding the interesting pairs, right? So let's see, I have a couple of interesting setups going on here. Is Luna following Atom? Well, Luna is not following Atom, but all altcoins are following Bitcoin, right? When he shows a 10% stop loss, he means that you can put maximum 10% of your trading capital in the trade. No, that's not it. That's not it. 10% stop loss on the setup, which means you should. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right, because that would be 1%. Ignore everything I just said. BNB USDT, I like this. Would like to go long on a break and retest of range EQ. That's what I'm watching. Range EQ is 375. So a break and retest of 375, and I'm long on BNB USDT. Cake USDT, still looking for a break and retest of 22, the 20, 21, 22 area. cause break and retest of 1.019, and I'm long. Dot USDT, just looked at that one. KNC USDT looks pretty good, but not really sure what to do here. Sol USDT, yeah, this is starting to look pretty interesting. I got my alerts right above here, and I would like to go long on a break and retest of the 42 area. T-Fuel. I swear to God, I was gonna call this goddamn yesterday. Swear to God, I was so close to calling this. Look at that goddamn beautiful rounded retest of the long RC right here. And it's also probably the daily 20-minute right below. All right, so T-Fuel, yeah, goddamn it, beautiful. But hey, this is could still be a nice trade. Could still be a nice trade if we retrace down to the buy zone. So yeah, I do like this. Let's see if we could maybe raise the buy zone a little bit to this level. Here, stops would be down here. What's the risk to one-on-one? Yeah, this is actually good. This is actually pretty good. I like this. I like this. I like this. I like this. This is what we're watching, right? On T-Fuel, so I'm adding some alerts down here in case we get a bounce. Theta breaking above that trend line like this, but I still need to see a break and retest of $10 area. Tesos still looks like shit. Atom, looked at that one, 1 inch, looking pretty good. Nice, clean, untested level right here. I have an alert to alert me if that gets hit. Algo USDT, still looking for that break and retest of the $1.1 area. So overall, not much has changed in the crypto market. Bitcoin is obviously making some nice moves here, Ethereum as well. But overall, not much has changed in the crypto market other than Bitcoin kind of getting a nice push up now on the European Open. So we've now taken a look at the crypto market. Now I'm going to show you some interesting setups that I'm watching in the Forex market, as well as my current open positions. My browser is freezing. Where exactly do you draw the Fib retracement tool from and to? Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's go to clean chart. Let me have a quick crash course in how to draw Fib levels. All right, so let's remove the moving average here, and we have the Fib tool right here. So first of all, the Fib tool can be found on the left here. Left toolbar, it's the third option from the top. Press that one, you're gonna get this big right here, and you have the Fib retracement tool. That's the tool that I'm using to draw my Fibs. Now let's look at Bitcoin here on the weekly. So you basically look for two. I never used the Fib extension. I mean, I probably should, because I've like it's. But I don't need it because I always use the extensions of my Fib retracement tool, and it works great. Anyway, you look for basically two things, right? You look for a bearish Fibs and bullish Fibs. So first I'm going to show you what a bearish Fib is. A bearish Fib is when you're in a downtrend, you want to look for resistance areas to short, and that's a bearish Fib. So in a downtrend, you look for bearish Fibs, because you want to go short. So the bearish Fib is drawn using the high of the down move. So the high right here down to the low, right? So obviously this kind of makes no sense, because this would be a nice uptrend as well. Extend that right here. What you see right here is you now have a bearish Fib, right? Because and I'm also going to show you my settings here. These are my settings for the Fib tool. You pause the video, just copy this, right? You draw from the high to the low. One very important thing to note here is you should always draw the fib forward in time. So start like forward in time, never backwards, because that will make the fib reversed basically. So yeah, you go from the high to the low to find resistances in a downtrend, right? And look at this, boom, hit the 618. And like I said, the most important part, the two most important levels in the fib sequence is the 50% and the minus 618. So it's the 0.5 and the 0.618 right here. And we hit that 618, got, and started reversing. Now let's look at the a bullish fib. So in the bullish fib, you go from the low to the high to find supports, right? In a bearish fib, from the high to the low to find resistances. In a bullish fib, from the low to the high to find support. And always forward in time, never backwards in time. Because if you do it backwards in time, it will be reversed and invalidated. So let's look at the weekly here for Bitcoin. That's the low. And I'm pressing and holding Control key on Windows to activate the magnet tool here. You can see how it's flashing blue right here. That's because I want to snap the low and the high to the exact wick. And it's very, very important that you use exact prices when drawing the fib, because small incremental changes in the price will be a huge move when you go from higher time frame to low time frame. This is now the bullish fib for Bitcoin. And like I said, the two most important parts about the fib levels on the fib tool is the 50% level and the 618. Well, what do you know? Bouncing perfectly off the 50% right here. No weekly close below. Absolutely beautiful. From the bottom to the top, you will find supports, right? Always forward in time, guys. Always forward in time, because if I do it the other way around, it will be in reversed, and it's not going to make any sense. Obviously, the 50 will be the same because the 50% level is the middle of the whole move, but it still makes no sense. From the low to the high, right here. And I will make a separate video on, like, we're going to be so much more active on the YouTube going forward. So we're going to have I'm going to have a separate video on exactly everything you need to know about the fib tool, how I use it, and the long RLC, the reload zone as well. I thought the 0.382 was also part of the most important level. No, not in my trading. Like, all right, guys. So every level is of equal importance, right? Every level. Yeah, I'm gonna make tutorial on fibs. Absolutely, I'll do that. But this is basically it. Okay, so what I've just showed you right now, it's basically it. So you guys, you don't need to make it complicated, right? You need none, like, you see resistance, you see breakout, you buy the retest, you make money. That's basically what trading is all about. You don't have to make it complicated, right? So what I've just showed you with the fib tool right here, that's how I use it, and that's basically everything. That's all I need to know about the fib tool, really. So I'm gonna make a detailed tutorial, and I'm gonna make so many more tutorials in the YouTube channel in the next coming weeks. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel. What's the difference between using standard fibs, TV fib settings and yours? Well, let's see. What would be the difference? Let's compare them to. This is the default drawing template. All right, so to the right you have the default one, and to the left you have mine. And this is the difference. This is the difference. I have added the 702 in the middle of the 786 and the 618 to really pinpoint the middle of the reload zone, because usually when price comes down in the reload zone, it likes to play off that. It's like an EQ level. It's like a range EQ level for the reload zone, because sometimes price will use the reload zone as a range, right? And instead of having the 1.618 and the 2.618 and that kind of stuff, I've added the minus 0.236 and basically the extension of this. I've just added that above, right? So that's the difference between mine and the original trading view settings. So I have a private student call shortly in about 20 minutes. So I have to prepare for that one. I'm going to quickly go through the Forex market and show you guys what setups I'm in, and then what setups I'm looking to enter. Look at Ethereum and Bitcoin. Bitcoin is actually getting close to that level right now. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when we test that area. So what I will do if this one happened on the live, for you guys to take a setup, I would recommend you wait for like a 15-minute bullish engulfing right here, or bullish pin bar or something like that. So let's see. I'm in USD CAD. Bought this one yesterday with the Fed. I'm not going to be able to do any. Sorry, can't. I don't have time to do any sharding requests right now, I'm afraid. So this one right here, I got into yesterday, right before, or when we had that Fed press conference and the interest rate from the Fed. This worked out pretty good. And one that did not work out very well, that I got stopped out on, is Euro. Euro AD. This bullshit of a trade. And honestly, like this is just a bad trade. And I think like like I talked about in the beginning, like I had two nights now that I've barely been sleeping, and it's just been awful. And it really, kind of really affects me mentally. And when I get affected negatively mentally, it really affects my trading quite a lot. So I've made some weird, stupid decisions, honestly, and this is really one of them. So it's a 1 hour loser, and I could have just waited confirmation, just done something differently. So I think, yeah, guys, like if you're not feeling, if you're not feeling 100%, if you're not feeling, disciplined and calm, when you're not feeling like you're in the zone, or can easily tap into the zone, it's better to just wait until tomorrow to trade. It's just better to wait a day, take a day off, do something else, go on a walk, do whatever, because the market will always be there tomorrow. But just because the market is always there, doesn't mean it doesn't mean you're supposed to trade all day. The market, like the forex market is open, and the crypto market, it's open 24/7, right? So just because the crypto market is open 24/7, you're not supposed to be trading 24/7. Your job as a trader is to be able to make yourself available and listen to the market and observe the market, and only take the trade if the market is giving you what you're supposed to be given, right? And if you're not, in your right state of mind, just get out of there, right? Get out of there, because it's when you, like, the time when you're most vulnerable is when you're gonna make this shitty, stupid decision. So when you feel like shit, just don't trade, and just get out of there, right? Do something else. All right. So what else? Euro NCD. This one got stopped out. Hit TP1 and got stopped out here at the new stop loss. A small winner. Definitely glad that I moved my stop up, because this definitely had a bearish market structure forming. And this is also one of the mistake I did, right? So Euro NCD, I was in a long on Euro NCD, and I felt like the Euro was moving quite bearishly, but I still entered this one, which was just weird, because I'm still in a Euro trade run. What else am I watching? I'm also in this one right here, and so this is actually the third trade I'm taking on the Nasdaq, right? So the third in a row, right? So the first two one got stopped out. The first trade was based on the low time frame break and reaches at that level. Technically, it ticked all the boxes of my system. Technically, it ticked everything, so it was a good trade. Now, the second trade, however, that was just a bad impulsive trade based on the fact that I was just tired, and I kind of like angry at myself. So that was definitely a revenge trade. I'm like, oh, fuck it, I'm just gonna enter again. So I enter right here, and that's right before the Fed press conference, which I just totally forgot about. So we dumped straight down. But then I saw this, right? So what happened here is quite interesting. We came down and we tested the reload zone confluent with the SR level. And it's also the think, see. Well, I had some type of confluence here. Well, anyway, that's a pretty good, it's a pretty good horizontal support and resistance area right here, confluent with that trend line, right? And you have on the 4-hour stochastics well below 20. So in my opinion, like this looks like a really good long right here, and I definitely want to stay long on the Nasdaq here if we move higher. The thing is, yesterday I bought down here, right? Price came up and hit this level, and I never sold. So that was a quick 1-hour trade, and I never sold. I could have sold here and entered this morning once again when I had proper confirmation. I'm just going to stay in this one because I still think it looks pretty good. What I'm going to do differently here is I'm going to move my stops up. So I'm going to move my stops here if we hit that resistance area right here. And I might actually post a setup on this, but I'm not sure because today I feel very uncertain about my whole trading capacity. So I feel very, very fearful, and I feel like I'm just making weird decisions. I'm getting stopped out, and definitely feeling fearful. And from what I've learned from my years of trading is I just need to try to forget about trading for a couple of days. And yeah, a losing streak might be looming here. So and there's a difference between a losing streak based on your technical edge and a losing streak based on your mental edge. So this is very important, guys. Let me explain. My technical edge, it's obviously like I had certain entry criteria and you know, looking indicators in a certain way and stuff like that. But I think, you know, one of my technical edge is simplicity, right? I try to keep it as simple as possible. I try to not complicate things, and I think that's one of my technical edge, right? On the other hand, the mental edge is what I'm just trying, like what I'm trying to describe. My mental edge is the fact that I'm very self-aware. I'm very self-aware of what's going on in my mind. I know when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, fuck, this is a non-trading day. I can feel that almost immediately. I'm like, I should not be trading today. And when I go against that, and when I trade anyway, I lose money. So you need to realize that sometimes your system is going to have a losing period. All systems have a drawdown period. Like statistically, if you have a 50% win rate, you will sometime have like a 5, 7, maybe 8, 9 losing trades in a row, right? So you're going to have a lot of losing trades in a row. Statistically, sometimes that's going to happen, but that's your and your system might have a drawdown period. So your system might have a drawdown period of 5% once in a while, or 5R once in a while. But that's the drawdown of your trading system. Now there's also a mental drawdown, right? There's also a mental losing streak where you just fuck up all the time, where you wake up in the morning and you tell yourself, I'm not supposed to be trading now, but I'm doing it anyway. That's a mental losing streak, right? When you're not focused, when you're not disciplined, when you start seeing the signs of I need to take a break, but you're not doing that anyway, you're going against your mental edge. If you, however, take a break and you listen to yourself and you listen to your emotions, that's when you start to develop a mental edge. Okay, guys, so the most important part about any successful trader's career is when they realize what their mental edge is, right? So TA is very simple, but trading is extremely hard because you need to combine these two concepts. You need to combine the technical edge with the mental edge and make sure that they align and is in perfect harmony with your personality and your personal style and your life situation. All right, guys. With that said, I'm done. I'm gonna do a workout session or something. No, I'm not. I'm gonna have a private mentoring student call. God damn it! All right, guys. Thanks for joining today. I really do appreciate all of you coming in here and doing, joining these lives with me. Let's hope that the Nasdaq long makes me a millionaire as well as the USD CAD long. Okay, guys. Take care. Have fun. Or something. Take care. Bye.